Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. You are in the kitchen with KK. We're continuing July, the month of July, National Blueberry Month. We're going to be making a blueberry scone today. Don't worry if you think they've been too hard. I'm going to make it super easy for you today. And not only that, we're taking out the ingredients that make it naturally inflammatory, enact your innate immune system, and we are going to be making it a productive treat because primarily people eat scones with their tea, but we know they're conventional baked goods. They don't really offer us a lot of nutrition. They tend to spike our blood sugars. Anything that I make as a treat, we think about blood stability. We think about the blood sugar, keeping it nice and stable. That is where energy comes from. And that's why fiber helps us. So let's get in this today. Blueberries are on sale. I'm a certified integrative health coach. I'm very passionate about education, and I'm an author of a cookbook called Simple Cooking for Vitality. There's information in the link, and it's a very unique book, but my mission is to get people back into the kitchen, know that they have control over their health, rebuilding longevity and youthful vitality, which is simple, clean, nutrient-dense, whole food, right? More plant-based. But today we're going to be concentrating, and everything I think about is cellular health and reducing inflammation. I'm not talking about the inflammation you get when you bump your elbow on the door and it hurts and it puffs up. This is inflammation we don't feel. That's the silent inflammation. They won a Nobel Prize back in 2011 for this. So it hasn't really been brought out that much. But today, cellular inflammation is causing so many issues, from insulin resistance to thyroid problems to cascading down, fatty liver, you name it. So we have to take control, but I'm giving you alternatives. And these scones are fabulous for some beautiful tea or coffee or an espresso. And then because it doesn't have so much refined sugar or inflammatory ingredients, you can enjoy some fruit with it, some other berries, getting more antioxidants. And that's what the month of July is about. Beautiful organic blueberries. They're on sale. Huge container at Whole Foods are on sale right now. So I wanted to take advantage of that for you. At my childhood home in Vermont, the blueberries are blooming, and they're just fantastic. They are loaded with an antioxidant, anthocyanin. So this blue, it's also going to be cascaded into a lot of vegetables where you see this blue or deep purple colors, feeding the brain, right? We need the antioxidants to work on the natural metabolic process that creates free radicals daily. So we need these. This is cancer prevention. This is keeping our cognitive energy really strong. But let's get on this. It's only about 7 ingredients and no rolling, no big mess. We're going to put this all together, and I'm going to show you the ingredients that will give you the best results for your cells and your body. So first off, we're going to be using 100% glyphosate and gluten-free sprouted rolled oats. Okay, the brand, you've seen me talk about them before in my overnight oat recipes. It is 1 Degree brand, farmers we know and trust. And we're going to be blending them up in the food processor. That way you never have to buy oat flour. In fact, it's much better this way. It's keeping some of the fiber and intact. And so we just need a 1.5 cups of the oats. We're going to get them in there and break them down. And I use these in the blueberry muffins. I use them for overnight oats. If I'm going to be making regular oats on the stove, so there's many uses for these and many reasons to have them. Old-fashioned oatmeal cookies, tons of reasons. So that's in there. And all you do is we just put the cover on, hold your ears for a second. We're going to turn this on and break it down. I just give it a little tilt, and that helps it to make sure the blades are getting to all of the oats. It's perfect. It doesn't take too long. So a minute or under, you can pre-do it. So then we're gonna add all the dry ingredients into the bowl here, putting in the wet ingredients. I'm gonna use a fork. We don't have to cut in any butter, doesn't have to be chilled. So this is really easy, and that's the way I wanna keep it. So the next step is gonna be coconut flour. I store my coconut flour in this, from Coconut Secret. I used to buy their brand, and now I have the Bob's Red Milk, but I just wanted to show you the total carbs of coconut flour. Not only is very high in fiber, it's low in carbs. It's very paleo friendly. And so it's 9 grams of carbs and the fiber is 5 grams. So you're left with 4 grams. And when you figure out how many grams when you're converting total carbs, you divide that by 5. So it's less than a gram of sugar, which is really fantastic. And there's going to be protein in here as well. It's very dense. So it's going to help you to feel full, just like the oats. So this gives you not just a quick rush to your blood sugar, it gives you something dense and makes you feel like you had something to eat. You can utilize this as part of your breakfast that's actually healthy, rather than just a treat on the side, okay? So let's get the oats in here. Okay, so we don't need this anymore. Just put this to the side. This is my favorite food processor that I use all the time, this KitchenAid model. And I think we just need a half a cup of coconut flour. I changed this recipe all no, a quarter cup. So just so you know, a quarter cup to a third of a cup approximately is equal to 1 cup of regular flour. That's how dense this is. Get that in. I've got a nice fork here, which we're going to use just to toss everything. We're going to use to mix it as well. So let's get this to the side. We're going to need baking powder. We're using a teaspoon and a half. I actually buy this grain-free Odo brand baking powder. This is a half teaspoon measure. We're using teaspoon and a half. Okay, done. Next up is coconut flour. So, I mean, coconut sugar. Coconut sugar I like the idea of the low glycemic, and they utilized this for more low glycemic. They found that it had a slower response into the bloodstream. So I believe just 2 tablespoons when I changed this up. Yes, 2 tablespoons. So that's not a lot of sugar, which is awesome, right? We don't need a lot of sugar in here. We're going to have the blueberries. We're going to drizzle over a little topping as well. So there's plenty of ways to get a pop of sweet. This is a base that's got productive nutrient qualities to help fill you up. So the message to your gut intestines, when you've got fiber and you've got bulk, it helps to turn and work with the leptin hormones to help us feel like we're full. So that feeling of satiety is very important, especially when you're trying to break cravings, when you're trying to do longer fasting and all of these things. The oil that we're going to be using is avocado oil. Very, very clean response in the body. There's no saturated fats in avocado oil, and it is not a seed oil. We're using clean oils. The only 3 oils that I use are primarily avocado oil, a really clean, high polyphenol olive oil, and coconut oil. So we just need 2 tablespoons. We're going to use a half a cup of, milk. Milk is a very clean almond milk. And the reason I buy it is because it's made with filtered water, sprouted almonds, and just Himalayan sea salt. And this one's got vanilla, so there's real vanilla pink extract in here. So a lot of the almond milks have fillers, carrageenan, things that are disruptive to our gut microbiome and to our gut cellular lining, the mucosal lining. So let's just get in, poured a half a cup here. What else is going in? a half a cup, 2 tablespoons. We're only using 2 tablespoons. I'm making this recipe a little bit smaller than traditional because I'm going to show you why. So 2 tablespoons. So we have all the dry ingredients in here. Now we're just going to be putting in the wet ingredients. I'm going to use a fork to put this all together, and then we're going to use our hand to shape it on parchment paper. So the other thing I'm going to add today, which I didn't write down, is flaxseed. I like to sneak in the flaxseed when I can. So I grind my own in a coffee grinder, which is great. That way you're getting really fresh grinds. I'm going to add in a tablespoon. So here we're getting even more fiber, omega-3s, really. So we're making this a very productive base. And then the yumminess is going to come from the blueberries. It's going to make you feel like you're having something substantial and healthy. So those flax seeds are going to absorb and make this nice and pliable. But I'm just using a fork here to mix it all in. You don't have to use a pastry cutter or anything like that. Oh my gosh, we're almost done. This is so cool, right? Very, very simple. And today I'm also going to add some walnuts on top of the blueberries, which I didn't before. So lots of variations that we can do. All right, let's show you how. I added the coconut sugar, right? Yeah, 2 tablespoons. Okay. So I have this, it's a pizza ceramic plate here. And I don't often use it. I do use it for my cauliflower when I make a cauliflower one. But we're going to be putting the parchment paper on here and baking it. The oven's on 400. This is how we're going to do it. So we're going to make this into 2 sections. So I'm going to take out half. About half. A little bit more. Okay, so we're going to use wax paper. And you put the wax paper over the parchment paper. And this way it's so genius. You don't have to worry if you don't have a rolling pin. You're going to mat it all down. And then we're just going to transfer the parchment paper right to where we're cooking it. So we're just going to shape the edges a little bit. Super simple. Peel that off. And then just give the edges a little, we're just forming the edges a tiny bit. Okay. Next up, we're going to do another one. This is going to be for the topper because I'm going to, this is going to be so easy. That's what I like about it. We're going to put the rest for the top. We're going to make the same one. I'm going to show you how to push it down. All right, so here again, we're just going to put the top right over this, make it into another circle, same size. That way you don't need a rolling pin, you don't need a pastry cutter, you don't have flour everywhere, you're not making a mess. And you can feel confident that it's not hard. So this is a great way. I do a lot of cookies this way, rolled cookies during the winter season. You know, I have a lot of recipes on my channel. You can check out some of the older ones there. So what we're going to do is we're going to flop this. Whoops. I need this for now. Okay. All right. Now to this, we're going to add the blueberries. So you need at least, you need more than a half a cup. You need at least 3/4 of a cup. Use a generous amount of blueberries, like fill the entire thing with blueberries. Because that's really where we want to get the natural sweetness and the natural antioxidants. If you were in a bakery, they have to guide everything based on price. So when you're at home, you can put as many blueberries on here as you want. Dose it up. Use the extra ones for sides. Okay, let's get one right here. So just fill in this whole circle. So you see how we have all the blueberries on there now, right? That looks delicious. This time what I'm gonna do is I crushed up some walnuts with a little cinnamon, Ceylon cinnamon. You know, I like Ceylon cinnamon. So we're just gonna sprinkle that over it. So this is a step you don't need to do. It's not part of the recipe. It's just a creative additional thing, making it fun. Now look at the nutrients we have in here. This is fantastic, right? All right, so now you have your topper. Easy, it's not sticking to your hands. You pull off one side and you're gonna stick it down on here. And you're gonna mold it together. So it looks like it's one, and then we're gonna push it together so that the blueberries, some of them poke through. Then we're gonna cut it with the cutter, the board scraper that I used, the sharp edge. Fantastico. Okay. Now all we're gonna do is slide that right onto the pan after we cut it. Let me show you what I mean by that. It's my board scraper, but you can use it to cut with as well, which is perfect. So we're just gonna cut even. You're gonna cut all the way through the center. You're gonna cut all the way through the center again. We're making like a pie, these shapes, and then we're gonna pull them apart a little bit so it cooks like they were meant to be separate. This is awesome, right? So easy. You're gonna get really excited about this. So then just use the edge to kind of pull it apart a little bit. Just to loosen them from the circumference of the circle. Give it a little space so the edges can cook in there. But we're cooking at 400, so these will get cooked up nice. Look how beautiful this is. Oh my God, the easiest scone in the history of the world. Okay, so honestly, it's ready. We're gonna put it in the oven and we're gonna come back when it's done. How long does it cook? About 12 to 15 minutes. So let's check it at 12 minutes and we'll see how we're doing. Okay, fantastic, right? Let me gonna put this on pause and then we will be back. Okay, we're back. Happy National Blueberry Month. I'm trying to get my subscribers up to around 1,000, so maybe you'd love to help me out. You'll get notifications when I'm getting a new video out, so I appreciate it. A lot of really great energy goes into these. We're making the topping, and instead of using refined confectioner's sugar and milk, we're going to be using a very productive raw cashew butter, or you can get cashew butter if it's made in some of the stores that have that where you can do it yourself. This one's great. I love the Artisana brand. You've seen this before. You can make a lot of stuff out of this. I've made a strawberry whipping for fruit and things with using dehydrated organic strawberries. You put it in here. So a lot of stuff cool that you can do with this. So we're making a topping. We need 2 tablespoons. Now, we used this spoon before, so you don't have to go get out another one. You can eyeball 2 tablespoons. Don't worry if you get a tiny bit more. You're going to be fine. You can also easily eyeball teaspoons. It's very easy. This is a teaspoon. It's a regular spoon from the kitchen. So this is raw organic honey. We're going to be putting in a teaspoon of this. Now, honey is 3 times or more. It's very strong, stronger than table sugar. So you don't need too much to get the point across there. But of course, raw honey is a more natural form of sugars, not just refined sugar here. And then we're going to be using some of the almond milk that we had. We're going to take a 1/4 cup, which is 4 tablespoons. Since we already have the measure here from the scone, just going to pour this in. Now, this little blender, you see me use this little blender so much. I've gone through like 4 of them. Get the Magic Bullet blender. I make dressings in here. I make my golden lattes, my chai lattes, super quick, little ones. Of course, I have the bigger blenders too to make larger portions of dressing, or for my very high speed NutriBullet RX to make some smoothies with. So we just want to get this to come down. This is going to be our topping for these ones when they come out. It's probably about 5 more minutes. So this is stop this and see where we're at. See if we need to add anything to make it thicker. Just gonna try to get this stuff off the sides here. So if you want it a little thicker, you can use a little bit more of the almond butter or a little bit less of the almond milk. Okay, so we're just going to use a little bit more. And then you can save this if you make extra, just save it in a little jar in the refrigerator. You can use it on other things, on little muffins that you made. It's a nice little drizzle, because when I make my sweets, I make sure that they're not too sweet. So our palate for sweet has to come down so that we can enjoy just berries and other things as a sweet, like we were supposed to. Okay, fantastic. We have this ready. You can put a sprinkle of nutmeg in here, a sprinkle of cinnamon, which I might actually do. I have some here. How fun, right? Get creative. That's what this is all about, being in the kitchen. So you want to be able to drizzle over your delicious scone and make it really fun. So that's got a few more minutes. I'm going to clean up this and we'll be right back to end this awesome video. Thumbs up, everyone. Okay, buzzer just went off. Let's get these babies out of here. Looking fantastic. So obviously not everyone's going to have this small piece of stone. You can just use a regular pan as well, a sheet pan. Look how great this is. And what you're going to do is you're going to slide this up onto the board. Let's get our scraper out again. Give it some little separation here, because these are going to now be individual pieces. And then we're going to take a decoration. Actually, you really want to let these cool a little bit before we put on the icing. And but the way that we're going to do it with the icing is we're just going to do a drizzle. So I will do some. We're just going to drizzle like this. See how beautiful that looks? So just do 2 at a time. Just drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. And then probably what I'll do is I'll put them into the refrigerator, let these get cooled off. Fantastic. So we're going to let these cool off. We're all done. And then we're going to come back. I'll show it to you all decorated with some gorgeous extra blueberries on the side. Fantastic, right? This is the way to do treats. Okay, apron is off. It is time to enjoy ourselves. Maybe call a friend over for some tea. Get out some nice faux china. Have some nice tea ready. And let's get one of these loaded on here. So you can see halfway through, it's just loaded with blueberries and the walnuts. And we're going to be adding some more fresh blueberries onto the plates. How fun this is. This is a jar for the extra topping. Now you can use this topping on some of your overnight oats, on top of any type of berries. That's perfect. Right, it's time to dig in. Enjoy the recipe. It's below. Have an awesome day. Give me a little thumbs up if you really enjoyed, and I hope you would love to subscribe to the channel and be part of this whole mission.